home safety. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Abna Mandi and you are welcome. We've watched TV from our childhood till now and we are still watching. We have learned some good and not so good habits along the way. Now we even have our laptops and our phones with us to watch anything wherever we are. Today, we want to discuss the impact of the things we consume on our screens. Stay with us. We have with us Mr. Nene Odomple, the lead blogger for the 1957 News, and he's going to do us the honor, teaching us the impact of whatever it is that we consume on our screens. You're welcome.
Thank you. When you call me Mr., it looks like Meni B.
Oh, really? Yeah. It's just a title?
Just call me Nene.
Okay, so please, he's Nene.
Yeah, I'm Nene. Simple.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you. I should welcome you rather.
I want to,
before we start everything, I want to say congrats to you guys. It's not easy creating content, and moving all the way from your location to this place means you're determined to do something. So I want to encourage you to keep doing it.
Thank you so much. Like it means a lot to us.
I know how it feels.
Thank you. All right, so to our business for today is everything we see on our screen content.
Well, yeah, to an extent there are, because somebody sits down, tries to find something that's interesting and puts it out there for you to see. And it may not be content to you, but it may be content to somebody. So far as somebody is benefiting or somebody's enjoying whatever it is a content.
Everything. I mean, from the news to the comedy.
Yeah, definitely everything. Everything, news, comedy, everything is content. Okay. Because, I mean, before the news comes out, a producer somewhere, an editor somewhere, a news writer somewhere writes it. And it takes some level of skills to do that. You can't be born and you start writing or you start creating content. Content creation is a skill you need to learn.
Wow.
Because Charlie, a lot goes into this thing.
That's
Even
true.
finding the topic you want to create content about, it's a whole job on its own. You can even use a whole year to find a topic. People use months, years to find what fits into where they can fit into in the content creation sphere. So somebody is creating content about politics, somebody is creating content about entertainment, somebody is doing sports. It took a long time. You may be creating, nobody's viewing it. But it will take a lot of time for you to identify your niche.
Your niche, yes.
Yeah,
Yes. So what will be the components of content creation? What should I have before I start creating content?
My answer is going to be in the form of encouragement to anybody who wants to start content creation. In as much as I have said, you can't wake up and start creating content. Mm-hmm. You can, in a sense, wake up and start creating content if you have the passion for it. And like I said, it's a skill you need to learn. So if you want to create content about sports, it means you need to read more about sports and then you start creating content about it.
Right.
Don't wait to get the camera, the Canon camera, all the big lights and everything. I started content creation with my Infinix Note 4.
Wow, Note 4.
Yeah, Infinix. You can imagine the China Infinix phone I was using to create content. Today I can boast of a camera, lights, and other stuff. So it's the determination, and you can start wherever you are, but while you do it, you should just know how to build upon your brand as time goes on. Yeah. So you just need your passion, and then few equipment to start creating content.
Do you believe that what we watch has influence on us?
It does. It does have influence.
How does it do that?
So I wake up one morning and I see you on TV looking very pretty, and I call my kid sister, hey, when girl, so just the fact that I feel like my sister can do same and I'm admiring you, it means that I feel like there is some sort of positive vibe with whatever you are doing. So whatever we see on TV really has effect on us. A certain guy, let me just take you back to last year, where a certain guy killed the brother for money ritual, and they were asked what happened. They said they went to a juju, good, and the person said they should bring a human being. That's an impact.
That's true.
So in as much as there are positive impacts, there are also negative impacts to the content you see on TV.
Back to the scenario you just gave.
Yeah.
Now they were kids.
Yeah.
How can parents monitor what their children consume both on TV and in the internet space?
Let me take you from the internet. It's a big deal to monitor what your kids watch on or see on the internet. But if you are a mother who really cares about the things your kids see on TV, that means on internet. Then, for instance, if your kids are watching YouTube, you should know YouTube has created a YouTube Kids for kids, so that the content you see on there are for kids. So if I create content and I make it made for kids, all the contents are directed to the kids. But to the traditional media, it's very difficult. And the sad part is the people who are supposed to regulate our media space are not doing it for us. The National Media Commission, who is supposed to know that this content shouldn't be shown at a particular point in time, are some way somehow sleeping on their jobs. They will tell you certain content should be shown after 10 p.m.
Yes.
They will show the content at 10 p.m. and repeat it at 8 at 9 a.m. And so the kids will still see the content.
But 9 a.m. the kids will be in school at that time.
What if the child didn't go to school?
Well, that's where the problem is.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the media houses that show those things, they assume that the kids should be in school.
You just don't be assuming anyhow.
That's true.
You shouldn't be assuming anyhow, because let's even say the kids are in school. The kid is going to buy wache at a certain joint, and he has seen that. The day he wouldn't go to school, he will switch to that TV and watch it. And it's very appalling how you see people teaching how to have sex at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my brother
those programs are repeated programs.
And they are proud of it. They share it on social media. The kids will see it again. Nobody's talking about it.
How do we regulate these things?
Because
it looks like it's gradually consuming our kids.
Yeah, there are people who are paid to regulate it, but they are just sleeping on their jobs.
Maybe they are thinking that the internet is a wide space. We can't just control it from the comfort of our office. So let me.
Were you in Ghana when Nigeria they banned Twitter from their country?
Yes, yes.
So what's preventing us from banning some of these things from happening?
Maybe we don't have the equipment, the resource. I mean, that has been our predicament all as well. You were saying that how we have to check this is in some people's hands.
Yeah.
So in our own individual houses, how do we regulate what we watch? I mean, I don't know if you have kids yet.
No, hey, Charlie, my little tennis, how can I have a kid?
You have younger siblings?
Yeah, I do.
If you see them watching some things you don't expect them to watch as kids, you wouldn't be happy with.
Definitely.
As an individual in the house, how do you check these things?
So, it's be a big one. If you live with the kids at home, that would be okay to know what they watch at a particular point in time. For instance, when I go home, my kids, sisters, and brothers like to watch cartoons. So, definitely, that's for kids. But in an instance when they are showing a movie, I remember when we were growing up, when they are showing movies and it's time to kiss, my dad would send you to go and fetch water. Or they would fetch you to go and buy something.
All our parents did that.
And I remember this video I saw, like the kid and the dad were watching a movie, and then a scene was about to show. The dad quickly switched it, and the guy, like Akola, was like, "Hey, daddy, uncle, baby, you go up." So like, it's very difficult to do it. But I just think that we need to. It has to be a constant effort to make sure the kids don't see those things. Also, on the flip side, however, I think we can allow the kids to see them, and then we explain to them how it is, right? Because I've seen instances where parents are so overprotective about their kids, and those kids end up becoming pregnant.
They tend to watch it outside.
Yeah, Charlie. So
we will come back to the kids and continue with their story. We take on Sécurité now. We'll be right back. Bonjour. Did you know that spending hours on your screen may be exposing you to some chronic ailments such as obesity, eye problems, and others? If you find yourself already addicted to your screen, follow this to regulate your screen time. Keep track of your screen time to take regular breaks and stretch. You can set an alarm or a timer to help you know how long you've been on the screen so you act accordingly. Experts say it is advisable to stay not more than 2 hours on your screen each day. Remember, prevention is always better than cure. À la prochaine. See you next time. Welcome back. Thank you for staying. So, Nene, you mentioned kids watching cartoons. Now, these cartoons are becoming a bit, should I say risky or dangerous or even alarming to watch? Because we've heard of whoever produces the cartoon imbibing the characters and the behaviors we don't want our kids to act out in the home into these cartoons. And we think that cartoons are the safest content on screens for our kids to watch. How do we check these things?
Well, so I think that the parents, in as much as you feel your kids are watching cartoons, you are abreast of whatever is happening in the world today. So if the kids are watching cartoons and you know they are adding LGBTQ to the cartoons, then you need to be careful and once in a while watch the cartoons with the kids or educate the kids about the LGBTQ. Like let them be educated about it. Because I wouldn't like my kids to become gays and lesbians.
Yeah, so
that's a no. That can happen in our home.
Your son, your 7-year-old son brings home a male friend, and he tells you, Dad, this is my boyfriend.
Like home
whoa!
You start attending school in the home, you don't go out again.
You bring a teacher to the house.
Of course.
That would be like abuse or...
Abuse, Ben. Any abuse.
You're infringing on their rights now.
You see, the rights comes with responsibilities.
I know, right?
So if you're a little boy, you are too young for you to take decisions on your own. So as a father, I take decisions for you.
All right.
I can't wait for my kids. Hey.
As a father, you are playing a wordy game on your phone with your son. You left the phone for the boy. You went out to do one or two things. You came back and then he has switched from the game you are playing to another thing you don't want him to see. Are you going to blame yourself or your child?
I'll lash the boy.
Why?
Because why would you go somewhere else? We're playing game.
You gave him access to your phone in the first place.
Yes, but I gave you access doesn't mean you should go to wherever you can go. What if, let's assume that you see, cheating is not good, but you see, cheating is part of us. So let's assume I'm cheating on mommy and then I'm texting some girl, you go and see messages.
No, he wouldn't understand anyway, but he has seen it.
Hey, these kids, they are very smart too.
Your unborn kids are smart already.
Hey, the kids, how didn't you see the corona babies, what they can do?
I know, right?
Charlie.
That's why you can't see your kids.
I can't wait for them. But like, if my child, I think there will be a lot of regulation in my home. In this world of social media and then the internet, there'll be a lot of regulations in my home. Because if we're using the internet, if you're using like Wi-Fi at home, the IP address somehow shouldn't allow you to open certain places. Yeah, so like there'll be a lot of regulations in my home.
Don't you think if we allow them to ask questions about these things we don't want them to see, we explain to them?
Yeah, you can ask the questions. I'll explain to you, but I will not expose you to them.
But if you explain to them, they may want to know more. So they'll keep asking questions.
Yeah, so asking questions is very good because I'm a kid who likes to ask questions. Okay. My lecturer will get bored at me because the class is not moving on because I'm asking too many questions.
So you prefer the questions to...
I prefer the questions.
Them sneaking their way into...
Yeah, you can't sneak anywhere.
I see.
I've got my eyes on you.
Your kids should get ready.
They should. If they are coming, they should.
People watch TV or they watch things on their screen and they expect the same things, the same behaviors. They expect people to react to them same way in real life. Like Kumkum Baggers, the telenovelas, they expect those all things to be done in real life. And one theory in communication, cultivation, has emphasized on that. Do you think that as human beings, we should just regulate how we watch or consume things on our screens?
I think it has to be education because if you know there is a theory called cultivation theory where you watch something for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, you begin to act that way and feel like you should act that way. You should know that those contents came with that ideology to get you to act like how they are acting.
Yeah.
But you know everything you see on TV is real. 98% of the things you see on TV are not real.
Fiction.
Because, I mean, they are content we are creating. And in as much as we are creating those contents, we are trying to paint a certain picture out there. We are trying to get a certain sponsor somewhere to kind of put his or her money in it.
Exactly.
And so the things you see on TV, most of them are staged. So if you see somebody looking all rosy on TV, that doesn't mean that is the same thing in real life. If you see somebody wearing a certain Balenciaga or driving a certain car in a movie, that doesn't mean the person owns that car.
In real life.
In real life.
Yes.
So you should be very careful and know how to maneuver your way through these things. You can use those things as encouragement to encourage yourself to work harder as a young person or maybe as an early person who think a younger person is doing better than you. But that doesn't mean that's the end of the world.
That's true. I think it has happened to me just a few weeks ago.
Tell me about
it. I watched Black Panther. Yes. You see how they spoke in the movie? Mm-hmm. After that, I watched another, I think The Woman King. And it was the same flow, I mean, with their accent that they were. So if I want to ask you, are you sure you have eaten today? They'll go like, are you sure you have eaten today?
This may be nice. You want to learn this thing. How?
Before I knew, I was talking like that.
Whoa.
When I realized, I said, oh, really? Is it me that it's happening to? I thought I could do more, but it's actually happening to me. So it's real when people should just be aware
Just be very
of these things.
Yes. The content you see, they come with an ideology. So the content creator wants you to act in a certain way.
Yeah.
The same way an advertiser is putting an advert out there and he wants you to react a certain way to the advert. The same way content creators do. And content creation, like I said from the beginning, a lot goes into it.
Yeah.
We think a lot. It may take somebody one year to be able to know I'm creating this sort of content and this is my target audience. So we should just be very careful.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And finally, I want to ask what you have to say to people who will sit down one place, either TV or on their phones, and end up developing chronic ailments like diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, and all those things.
So those people who sit and watch TV, don't they work?
Well, that would be for them to answer.
Yeah, so if you see, this is the world that's running very fast. You and I are complaining about hardships in the country. And this is to people in Ghana. People outside Ghana, I don't know how your country is treating you. But you shouldn't make watching TV or being on your phone be your habit. Even me, who writes on my website, post on my Instagram and my socials, creates content, there are some times where I miss calls. I miss calls not because I see the calls and I don't pick them. I miss calls because I'm not on my phone.
Yeah.
I don't sleep on my phone because I know what sleeping on the phone or being in contact with the screen for a long time can do to me. The kind of effect it can have on me.
Good.
The bad effects.
Yes.
So if you are somebody who likes to watch TV, play game, and all those things, you should be able to regulate them. Maybe these phones come with certain limits as to when to be on the phone. The phone goes off at a particular point in time, so that you'll be able to learn how to prevent yourself from getting some of these illnesses. Because Charlie, so you're asking you who whenever show.
And you even hustle for the money and then later
you bow, Charlie.
use it for healthcare. So please, being passionate or being careful about what you consume on the internet or on your TV is very necessary. You need to choose right. I mean, your health is your wealth. You can't just be watching anything all the time anyhow. This is how we wrap up on home safety. I have been with Nene, the lead blogger for the 1957 news. A big shout out to SM behind the camera, my producer, Histridge. My outfit is proudly designed by Joyce FC. They are on Instagram. Their info is on the screen. Till we meet again, remember to think safety, teach safety, and practice safety.